Nikola Tesla was a visionary genius whose impact on the modern world is unparalleled by any other single individual. Born 1856 in Belgrade, Serbia during a lightning storm, Tesla was an electrical engineer and an inventor who possessed a photographic memory and spoke 8 languages. He patented more than 700 inventions, including the electric motor, radio, remote control, wireless communication, radar, robotics, X-ray imaging, spark plugs, neon lighting, and the fluorescent light bulb. Tesla is best known today for winning the Battle of the Currents against lifelong rival Thomas Edison, showing that alternating current power was not only feasible and safe, but the best option for the electrification of the world. At Niagara Falls in November 1896, he brought his AC turbines to life using funding from George Westinghouse. The turbines powered Buffalo's streetcar system 26 miles away, the first long-distance transmission of AC power in the world. In 1897, numerous investors and dignitaries, including the Vanderbilts and Rockefellers, attended the Power Banquet at Buffalo's Ellicott Club to celebrate Tesla's achievement. The technological wizard was the guest of honor and gave the keynote speech. The 1901 Pan American Exposition in Buffalo expounded on the stunning success of Niagara Power with a City of Light theme and became a beacon of progress. Tesla changed the world in many ways, but it was his brilliance with electricity that has had the greatest impact. And it all started here, in Buffalo, Niagara, where his inspirational spirit lives on in the 21st century.
It's among the newest names on Buffalo's manufacturing landscape.
You know, most people think of Tesla and they think of the car company Elon Musk started, but they don't know a lot about the man that inspired that name.
Nikola Tesla harnessed the power of Niagara and found a way to transmit that electricity over a long distance. Evidence of that feat can still be found today, starting with the falls themselves, where a statue of Tesla sits proudly overlooking Goat Island. A short distance away, the original transformer house just off of Buffalo Avenue. That's the place that sent power on its journey down a 22-mile cable to this spot, which is now a driveway next to the old Mentholatum building on Niagara Street in Buffalo. This used to be an actual street.
Brace Street was the site of the terminal house where alternating current power was first received into Buffalo in 1896.
The terminal house brought the power in and relayed it down Niagara Street to the Buffalo Railway Company, which sat on this spot near Busty Avenue.
So the streetcars were the first thing powered by AC electricity. And again, this was the first time AC power had been sent long distance in the world.
So we're standing on really a spot that electrified not only Buffalo, but the world.
Indeed.
And that accomplishment served as the lightning bolt for Dana Saylor and Marty McGee 2 years ago when they came up with the concept for a celebration of Tesla's work here in Western New York, work that changed the world. And what better way to celebrate than a huge party? And that's how the Buffalo Niagara Tesla Festival was born.
Pan Am was probably the biggest party Buffalo's ever thrown, and we just love to continue in that tradition. And it was Tesla's AC power generation that made that light up.
The festival will use art installations like this 14-foot LED sculpture created by artist Franklin Lavoie entitled Electra, along with storytellers, aerial dancers, music, food, and drink as a way to not only celebrate, but also educate. You'll even get a chance to meet Nikola Tesla himself, or at least someone who looks and sounds a lot like him.
I've observed him go from a obscure cult figure to he's on the edge of being a global phenomena.
As we reach about the 120th anniversary of Tesla's great achievements at Niagara Falls, it is in fact a good time for all of us in Buffalo and Niagara Falls to be thinking about how history is our future.
So we're bringing the past to the future, and we're using him as a guidepost to go forward.
Marty for hosting us tonight. I'd like to thank Marty McGee and Dana Saylor for organizing this party. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Bureau, who gave me this nice outfit. I've been dead for half a century. It's nice to be dressed up. I'd like to thank the office of William Mattar for providing the Tesla, named in my honor, of course. My comments at the electric banquet of 1897 were cut short. I'm not going to bore you with those details, but I would like just to say that the powering Buffalo in 1896 with my AC turbines was something that I dreamed of ever since a boy. I saw a picture of Niagara Falls. I said, someday I will harness that power and I will electrify the world. And today we celebrate that achievement. Thank you all for coming, and let's party like it's 1899.
Oh, my.
What sort of garments is this?
It's a T-shirt. T for Tesla.
Very good.
T for Tesla.
Nikola.
Two local physics fanatics put a bright idea into motion last night, hosting the inaugural Tesla Fest in Buffalo. Take a look at this. Nikola Tesla himself kind of made a guest appearance, arriving in a new Tesla X car with wing doors. Once inside, guests were treated to performances by the Victorian Dance Society, art exhibits, and even demonstrations of Tesla coils. A silent auction continued throughout the night, with guests bidding on Tesla-inspired works of art. Organizers say the event was more of a celebration. It was a way to spread a little-known impact of the Croatian inventor on the Queen City.
Many people don't know that Tesla's greatest achievement, the pinnacle of his career, was installing AC turbines at Niagara Falls, sending AC power for the first time in the world from Niagara Falls to Buffalo in 1896.
Now, the group is working to have a statue of Tesla installed in downtown Buffalo. They say the ideal placement would be near the Ellicott Square building, which Tesla visited.
January 12, 1897. It was a celebration for the ages.
The Power Banquet was probably one of the biggest party events to ever happen in Buffalo.
It attracted all the who's who's of society at the time, from the Vanderbilts to the Rockefellers. More than 400 of the biggest movers and shakers of the day packed into the 10th floor of the brand new Ellicott Square building, the largest office building in the world at the time. The keynote speaker for the event, none other than Nikola Tesla.
And it was to celebrate the accomplishment of the first long-distance transmission of AC power, alternating current power from the Falls to Buffalo.
That first transmission, November 15, 1896, was marked by a 21-gun salute over the Niagara River and powered the city trolley system. But it was just the start. Buffalo History Museum director Melissa Brown says it's also a story that she really didn't hear much until she started working here.
When I was growing up and learning history, his story was not one that you would find in your history book. It was really the Edison story of electricity.
Slowly but surely, though, the Tesla story of advancement in AC power and invention has been picking up steam, especially here in Buffalo.
I think Tesla, as far as his contributions to utterly changing our whole world, have just been touched on.
In fact, in all likelihood, if it weren't for Tesla and his work at Niagara, the Pan Am Expo may never have come here in the first place.
It was one of the biggest drivers for bringing the Pan American Exposition to Buffalo.
Coincidentally, this film of the Pan Am and all its splendor was captured by Tesla's chief rival, Thomas Edison.
Electricity and selling that point and having the cheap availability of alternating current power from Niagara Falls was a huge part in gaining the exposition here. Even in 1901, a lot of people here in your own personal lives would not have used alternating current power, and to see something on that scale would have been quite staggering.
And now, a century later, efforts to recognize those feats continue. This past fall, a Tesla Fest was held in Buffalo. And now the organizers of that event are working on another project, a statue. This is a 3D printing of what it might look like. The actual sculpture will be produced by world-famous artist Larry Griffiths III. Marty McGee took me to the spot where he would like to see the statue stand on this unnamed parkland downtown next to One M&T Plaza.
The statue would be facing Niagara River.
And it would also stand between the Ellicott Square building where the power banquet was held and the old AM&A's building, another mile marker in AC history. In 1886, the store became the first commercial business in the country to use alternating current-generated electric lights, serving as a beacon, shedding light onto the unknown stories of Western New York.